Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2024 for the continuation of our REMBE Pro Cycling career mode. As always, brought to you by REMBE. So, last episode was pretty special. We won our first Grand Tour with REMBE Pro Cycling. Georg Steinhauser won the Giro d'Italia 2028. Gotta say, that's absolutely epic. Our next Grand Tour starts in about a month. It's a Tour de France 2028, and it's a pretty important race for us. Because just like the REMBE Pro Cycling team in real life, the goal of this team was simple: trying to get a German rider in the yellow jersey, trying to win that Tour de France. But before that Tour de France, we have some preparation races first, starting off with the Dauphine. As always, an 8-day stage race starting off at a medium mountain stage. Gotta say, looking at the parkour, I'm calling Matthias Watzig, but we're probably gonna leave that guy home because he's been severely over-raced. Stage 2 is an uphill sprint, stage 3 a flat sprint, and stage 4 a time trial. Then a stage for the punchers, followed by a medium mountain stage and 2 GC stages. And I gotta say, that stage 7 looks brutal. But let's take a look at our team. GC leader Florian Lipovic. He's been doing well throughout the 1-week races this year, and I hope to do that again in this Dauphiné. Meanwhile, Tim Torrenteutenberg is here for the flat sprints, or should I say flat sprint? And actually, maybe for this fast stage, Hector Alvarez is at the start, so I reckon I could survive this parkour with him. But the competition is quite serious. Pidcock, Van Aert, Skjelmose, Jonas Vingegaard, Thibaut Nys, Maxime van Gils, and the list goes on. Anyway, let's get started. Not exactly starting with the perfect race day condition though. -1 on Alvarez, we've got a 0 day on Teutenberg, and actually, I might try to survive these climbs with Teutenberg as well, because there's no steep gradients here, so maybe a small chance that he survives. Otherwise, we go for Alvarez. Jesus, this tempo is brutal. I'll have to literally go like 91, 90 for a bit to make sure I don't get dropped here, but that is going to ruin Teutenberg, so I'm trying desperately to try and get him over this climb, but I just don't see it. There's one more hill coming, and Teutenberg is basically dropped, so yes, it's gonna be for Alvarez, a group of 32 people. Lipovic as lead out. He's not exactly great at that, but we might as well try. Last 3 kilometers, Paul Sechas with a lead out, Lipovic in the wheel losing all his energy, so let's drop it to 95 for a little bit. We gotta make sure we can do a proper sprint here. Lipovic can launch his lead out right now. Alvarez from the wheel pretty soon with 1k to go. There we go. Hector Alvarez on the left side of the road. We've got Brennan. Brennan's still here on the right side, but no. Hector keeps us winning. Alvarez wins stage 1 of Criterium du Dauphiné. Not gonna lie, I was not expecting that. Like, I'm pretty sure Hector Alvarez in this game is now a completely different rider than he's gonna become in real life. He's gonna be a pure classics rider, I believe, in real life, but this man can bloody well sprint in Pro Cycling Manager, that's for sure. A beacon of consistency in our team. And well, yellow jersey on the shoulders, so I'm not complaining. And like, beating this guy, Leo Bizio, is kind of expected, but Paul Magnier, this man is no pancake, so pretty solid win. Now, before we take a look at our next stage, we have to do some transfer dossiers. Now, I do want to make it clear, I'm not sure I'll be able to make another season of this series before PCM 2025 releases. So while I'm doing these transfers for fun, there's a solid chance you won't see them in action. Anyway, looking at the REMBE riders that don't have a contract for next season, Louis Joleur seems to be a rider that I definitely need to re-sign, so he's on the list. But I'm actually not too sure about Pablo Torres, a super talent, great climber, but time trial wise, terrible. So honestly, I might just let him leave. Now, Tim Torrenteutenberg, basically a B-Tech Degenkolb. I'm definitely gonna re-sign him. He's our German sprinter basically, so he's a must for the team. But while Niklas Behrens has a proper history with the team now, I feel like he's become redundant. Especially when Leon Kolar is already 78 sprint, 74 acceleration at the age of 21. So I fear that Niklas Behrens will stay on this list for now. Our next rider, Adria Perikas, has been quite a good domestique and is actually 77 medium mountain, which is useful. So Perikas will be added to the list, there we go. Yannick Steimle getting a little bit older, but not necessarily losing stats yet. 73 cobble stats, 75 time trial, 74 flat stat. I feel like it's still useful, but maybe for a 1-year contract. By the way, this French dude has some pretty weird stats. Time trial 81, prologue 72. That's a bit odd. And actually, after those extensions, we've only got 3 points left, so I'll confirm the dossiers and I'll keep those points for now. Let's get back to the race. So, stage 2 then. Less hills in the parkour, but still an uphill sprint. So, maybe Alvarez again, maybe Teutenberg. Hola, we are starting with a +2 on Hector Alvarez. So, 77 sprint, 75 hill stat, and the finish really fits him. Also, very high secondaries. Teutenberg with a -1, lower secondaries, 78 sprint though, but lower hill stats. So I think I'll go for Alvarez again. So 8 kilometers to go, first a little bit downhill, then we start the uphill drag towards the finish line. So let's up the tempo towards 85 on Sechas. Pacher with the attack, I don't like that, we gotta catch that. It's a gap of 20 seconds. Let's hope that does not expand too much. it does look a little bit weird that we have our best sprinter on paper as the second last man on our train, but this is the best way to do it, I feel like. Last 2.5 kilometers, Berens can definitely take over already. Sisha out of the way, Alvarez in the wheel of Teutenberg. Teutenberg ready to launch his lead out right now. Alvarez in the wheel looking perfect, looking absolutely perfect. Launches right now with 1k to go. Easy victory. Easy victory. Pidcock tries to come around, but Hector Alvarez is the winner of stage 2 of Criterium de Dauphine, so number 2 in a row. To be honest, I actually wasn't sure that Alvarez would be the right choice, but Teutenberg came third, so I reckon I could have won with both of them, regardless of who I chose as leader. Now, obviously, we do extend our lead in the GC, but I don't expect to keep that jersey for too long. If anything, I want to try and take it with this man. Lipovic currently on 20 seconds in GC. But actually, we got one more sprint stage on the menu first, and actually, it's a flat sprint stage, so Teutenberg time? Okay, Teutenberg with a +3 on the day, so 80 sprint stat. We're definitely going for him. With about 9 kilometers to go on a downhill, and our train is not exactly working at the front of the peloton right now, so I'm trying to get it up there, but it's been quite troublesome. Come on, Bodesh. Thompson trying to make it through. Then Seychelles. This is not looking brilliant at all. Energy Shell on Alvarez right now. Come on, train. Come on, train. Keep pushing through. Alvarez the perfect lead out, so it's looking quite solid, but Teutenberg is in a horrible position. Literally horrible. Can I find my way through? I don't know if I can. Alvarez, come on, man. Find your way through. Find your way through. Thompson, get out of the way, bro. Get out of the bloody way. Energy Shell on Teutenberg. Way too late. Simply way too late. I'll start sprinting with Alvarez, but there's no way I can still win this race, I'm pretty sure. Teutenberg tries to come around. Alvarez! Come on, Alvarez! Yes! Come on, come on, come on! Hector Alvarez does it! How? I don't know how he managed to do that. Our lead out wins a flat sprint 3 stages in a row by Hector Alvarez. That is literally insane. Genuinely, with 2 kilometers to go, I thought everything was lost. Teutenberg was in Narnia, but Alvarez somehow delivered and wins again. And like, it's not like he's gonna win the GC, but he might be able to win the points classification, to be honest. Anyway, onto the GC stages. Ouch, a 30-kilometer time trial, starting off slightly uphill, then downhill, then flat, then uphill. So I want to save most of my energy on that final uphill. Wout van Aert is the favorite, but he's not exactly a GC rider, so I'm not too worried about that. But second favorite Skjelmose, third favorite Vingegaard, those are the GC riders we're up against. And sadly, Lipovic has 3 to 4 time trial stats less, so that's not great. We are undoubtedly losing time today. I'm sorry, but it's not just weird that Vingegaard is at Cofidis, he's also the world champion time trial. I completely forgot about that. Okay, Florian Lipovic is on the road. Pretty good day. I'll start off pretty slow for a second here, but now I'll up it towards maybe 88 on this uphill segment, because that's where Lipovic is strong, maybe even faster. I'll go faster. I'll go 93, 94, because I want to spend my red bar on this segment, maybe 89 again. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Now drop it towards 85 so we don't run out of red bar. And now let's try and drop that completely in the descent, because that's where we need to recover. So let's drop it down towards maybe 62, 63. I don't think we'll lose too much time doing that. I think we'll just gain a lot of energy, which is exactly what I need right now. There we go. Back on the flat into the first time check pretty soon after this next corner. We're on 75 effort now. Let's take a look what our time is. First time, so we're going too fast. We're going too fast. Otherwise, that would not happen. So we are overextending. Let's lower it toward maybe 68, something like that, because I want to keep most of my energy for this final climb. By the way, I forgot to mention, my man's on a fantastic day. +2 daily form, so 78 time trial on the day. Second time check incoming. Let's take a look. We are 4th now. That's a little bit better in terms of not overextending, but now the climb is about to start. Now on the climb in the last 4 kilometers, I'm going to focus on Lipovic, not on Alvarez. Lipovic has too much yellow bar. I feel like we've got too much of our yellow left. Yeah, this time trial was a failure. We should have spent way more of our yellow bar, and we didn't. So this is the result. Our yellow is gonna be, we're gonna have lots of yellow left at the finish line right here. So we could have competed for the victory. 48 seconds, and we've got like 10% of our yellow left. That is such a shame. The winner of the stage is unsurprisingly Wout van Aert, but a bit of a disappointing time trial for us, especially with the good day and knowing that we paced it wrong. And like, Skjelmose is only 1 second ahead of me, so I reckon we can still win this race. But wait a second, we are 7th in GC. I don't know how this is possible. Where's Jonas Vingegaard? He's 20th on 2 minutes 41. Where did he lose that time? Looks like it was stage 1. Lots of gaps in the peloton, including 2 minutes and 6 seconds on Jonas Vingegaard. Honestly, I reckon we can still win this race. But before the GC stages, once again, a Hector Alvarez stage on the menu. So yeah, let's go for his 4th one. And our man in green, Hector Alvarez, is feeling good. A +2 on the day, so 77 sprint stat. Roughly 25 kilometers to go, and we're about to dive to the final climb. Quite a steep climb of the day. Thompson leading the charge with our team in the wheel. We've got 4 riders in our sprint train, Teutenberg included, because, well, +3 on the day, 79 sprint stat, 73 hill stat, so I reckon he survives this climb as well. Halfway to climb and actually surviving it quite well. Thompson doing a hell of a tempo, the breakaway has been caught and our train is looking perfect, but there goes Kjelmose. Van Aert following the rest of the GC riders in the wheel, but you're not getting away, buddy. We've got a train, and Teutenberg is not in the perfect position in that train because, well, he's making sure Lipovic is dropping off the back of Alvarez, but Teutenberg has survived, so we've got a strong sprint train here. Now, it does look like the final is basically downhill until the last 1.5 kilometers, so I can basically already go 99 with Seychelles, and then Alvarez not yet, because, well, actually, we might be able to go 99 with Alvarez already because we're doing it before the downhill. There we go. Lipovic in the wheel looking good. What if we attack before the downhill? There we go. We've got a gap. I'm okay with that. Seychelles can sit up Thompson as well, and we can try and keep this gap. We've got 12 seconds. Come on, Alvarez, in the descent. Keep it going, buddy. Keep it going. Multiple riders have bridged, and this is not good because I've spent basically the entirety of Alvarez trying to do that. So that is not perfect. Lipovic in the wheel can do the lead out now. So let's try and compass with Lipovic. Teutenberg in the wheel. Still should be the best sprinter in the group, or maybe Echevarria. Teutenberg versus Echevarria. Did we bottle it by going for Teutenberg? Yes. We completely bottled it. We could have won the stage easily with Alvarez, but we chose wrong. I was so focused on trying to gain time with Lipovic in that descent that I simply spent all the energy on Alvarez, so that's a mistake. That being said, when it comes to GC, it's basically still the same situation. 1 minute 19 to Wout van Aert. But by sprinting with Teutenberg, we actually let Echevarria come back to the same exact points as Alvarez in the points classification, so that's a bit devastating. Anyway, stage 6 then, it's finally climbing time. Not the craziest mountain stage, a medium mountain stage with the Col de Aravi. Pretty long climb though, and then a smaller climb to the finish line. So we should be able to do pretty well here. Lipovic is third favorite. Vingegaard is the favorite, but he's quite far behind in GC. Anyway, on this stage, I'd like to see Wout van Aert, Derek G, and Ben Healy lose some time today. Let's try to make that happen. Oh, no. What is happening? Florian Lipovic is kind of ill. I don't know what he has, but he's got the injury symbol. Although he's got +1 daily form, so not sure what's happening there, but I'm not complaining. +2 mountain stat, I'm okay with that. Whatever illness that man has, I want to. So I tried to go in the breakaway with Alvarez, but in doing so, Wout van Aert was counterattacking me. So for some reason, Wout does not want Alvarez in the breakaway. Sounds like Wout is a little bit scared to me. Gotta say, the last 40 kilometers of the stage is starting, and if I take a look at the gradients of the second last climb, it's not exactly too steep, so I don't expect too many differences in this stage. If anything, on the final climb, Wout van Aert might be able to win. And right as I say that, breakaway gets caught, Kjelmose Healy attacking. Kjelmose is done for. How? Bro, you just attacked. You literally just attacked. Then again, Lipovic's energy, not exactly too vibrant either. So I probably should not be shouting too loud. I'll try to attack though. If Kjelmose is suffering, then I might as well explode the last kilometer of this climb all out on 99. So let's do that. We've got Jonas Vingegaard trying to close that. Kjelmose, I want you to drop behind the split. So that's what I'm trying to do. Vingegaard tries to catch up with me, which might be possible in the descent, but I'll try to go on, let's say, 65 downhill. I want to recover my yellow bar because, well, we gotta survive that final climb. Jonas has caught up with Lipovic, now a gap of 33 seconds on Ben Healy trying to attack the group behind together with O'Connor, so that's intriguing, but we are recovering quite a bit of energy, so this is looking quite solid. Oh my god, Vingegaard is pacing all out with Lipovic in the wheel. That's perfect for me, so I'll just stay in his wheel. Alvarez is actually still in the group behind, well protected by Seychelles, so that's also interesting. He's not our GC rider, but if we're getting lucky, then he might be able to compete for the stage win like this. Last 6 kilometers, let's do 85, nothing too extreme. Let's work together with Jonas Vingegaard here. We've got Healy trying to bridge up still, O'Connor closing that. Alvarez, he's losing some ground in this group. He's losing some ground. Looks like O'Connor is going to close Lipovic and Vingegaard, so I don't know if I should keep going. I reckon I should. Skelmos is doing his absolute best to try and catch us, but he's gonna explode again. It's inevitable at this point. He exploded before the top of the last climb, so it makes no sense for him to go this hard. Should I try to go for Alvarez right now? Let's try and move him forward at least, and Lipovic can stay at the front. Seychelles can try and bring Alvarez to the front on this downhill. Last 1.2 kilometers, there we go. Let's do 93, something like that. No, it's not going to be for Alvarez, but Lipovic is looking good. Lipovic is looking really good. 95 to the top, 97, let's sprint. Seychelles in the wheel. We won't have the victory, but we get a top 3 behind Jonas Vingegaard and Max Poole. We maybe beat Poole, no we don't, so a third place on the stage. How did Skelmose even finish in this group? He was done 20 kilometers ago. That descent really bailed him out. Oh, there was a gap in the group. Wout van Aert lost 18 seconds, so that's the start of his collapse. Let's take a look at GC now. We are moving up to 4th right now on 57 seconds, so that is brilliant. We passed Skelmose thanks to the bonus seconds. Carlos Rodriguez as well. Vingegaard moves up to 12, but is still more than a minute 20 behind us. So it's all about cracking Wout van Aert, Healy G, and trying to keep Skelmose, Rodriguez, and Vingegaard behind us. I actually do like stage 7 a lot for us because there is major climbing in it. Col de la Madeleine in the middle of the stage and followed by the Col du Mollard and Croix de Fer at the finish, but the final climb is not necessarily the most brutal either. So I'd like to think there's enough climbing for us to make it hard for G, Healy, and Van Aert to stay ahead of us, but also make it hard for Vingegaard to catch up. Nonetheless, Jonas is the favorite, so let's try to beat him. Oh, that is some bad news. Lipovic is still sick, and actually this time around a -2 on the day, so not a +2, some bad form. But even with sickness, we should be able to get 57 seconds back on Van Aert on this terrain, so I'm not necessarily too worried. That being said, I might want to try and get in the breakaway with both Thompson and Alvarez. Alvarez is annoyingly close in GC though, so that's a bit sad. In the peloton, they are riding. Sadly, Thompson was stuck in a chasse patate, so that's not great, but it looks like Ineos is letting this breakaway go, so 1 minute 46, and Alvarez in there with a gap of 1:31 to the yellow jersey, so virtually, he's in the lead. But more importantly, I want to get to the front of the group because I want to take these intermediate sprint points to secure the green jersey, so there comes my sprint. Looks like we've got no one sprinting against us, so no need to do anything crazy. There we go. Points secured. We've now got 85 points, while Echevarria has 75. So comfortably in the lead, especially because there's no sprint stages left. My goodness, the Madeleine climb has only just begun. 24.6 kilometers, 6.4%, but riders are dropping one by one, and actually Großschartner, a good climber as well. Same for Henry Ulich, buddy. I'm sorry, but if you were riding at REMBE, you wouldn't be dropping. Looks like Alvarez is now dropping off the front of the race, which is understandable. There's better climbers in this group up here. Showing Asgreen when I say that is not necessarily a better climber, but Nerurkar definitely is. 76 mountain. Roughly 3 kilometers before the top, the gap's already 4 minutes 30 to the front, so I think we are doomed with Alvarez here. And actually, Ineos spent most of their team except Pidcock and Rodriguez to catch some riders from the breakaway. Alvarez is about to get caught 1k before the top, so at least he's still here for Lipovic. Teutenberg and Behrens are already off the back. Boresh is about to drop as well before the top, so I'll have like 3-4 riders left at the top, so pretty dire situation. Oh crap, Jonas Vingegaard has fallen in the descent of the Motherland. He is behind together with Ben Healy, who is second in GC right now, so that's also important. I just sent Thompson to get water, so he's now stuck in this group, which is not exactly what the plan was either, but do I put Boresh at the front? Of course I do. I'm a terrible person. So, Julian Boresh, get to the front. Let's try and keep Jonas Vingegaard behind. I can't believe it. Jonas Vingegaard is cheating. He's using the car to come back to the group, but Zangel is almost out of energy. Oldani's out of energy. The Lotto Domestiques are out of energy. I'm spending Alvarez trying to keep him behind because, yes, I'm a terrible person, but I think it would be worth it and pretty cool if we can keep Vingegaard behind the breakaway. Behind the peloton is what I mean. Just at the foot of the Col du Mollard, Jonas Vingegaard is back, and that definitely was not worth the effort I spent on Alvarez, so that's a bit sad. Hector is done for when it comes to his work. We've got Seychelles now protecting Mr. Lipovic, and I gotta say, one domestique with 28 kilometers to go. I was hoping for a little more. I truly spent my team trying to keep Vingegaard behind, which failed. The hardest part of the second last climb is basically done for. I'm trying to recover as much as possible when the tempo of the peloton here has gone down a little bit, so that's okay. I want to start the last climb with as much energy as possible. And I reckon that will work. Half yellow already at the top of that second last climb. So if I go 55 in the descent, I might be able to get towards full yellow, hopefully. Yeah, basically almost full yellow. Still a group of 45 people though. So I expect this to thin down pretty swiftly. 4 minutes to the breakaway. Is that our first attack GC-wise? Derek G and Ben Healy going? I love that. I absolutely love that because these guys are second and third in GC, so if they overextend and blow up, that's only great for me. They've already been caught, but they're going again together with Van Gils, Skjelmose. We've got Echebarria, our contender for the green jersey, now trying to chase that down, so I'm okay with him spending some energy on this mountain stage too. 5 kilometers towards the top. I'm actually going to go 85 myself now. I'm going to try and move up in the group because I do have the energy to really push it on these last 5 kilometers of the quad affair, these steeper 5 kilometers. I want to put pressure on Van Aert, G and Healy. Oh yes, Wout van Aert is cracking. That is perfect. 3 kilometers to go and Mr. Wout is not looking too good. He's looking a bit yellow right now. Get it? Yellow? Such a terrible joke. Rider by rider, people are dropping, and I've got plenty of energy for these last 1.5 kilometers, so gotta find a way to get back to the group though, because I've kind of been dropped in the last 1.52 kilometers, and that is not brilliant either. Come on, Lipovic. Let's try and fly past. Let's try and fly past. Last 600 meters, we've got G and Healy right there. Let's try and go 90 towards the top. Let's sprint it out against Rodriguez, and we finish with Healy right now, so Healy's still a pretty solid competitor there, still 50 seconds ahead of us in GC, and he takes bonus seconds on this stage as well, so that's not great. Oyer Lascano was the only survivor of the breakaway, winning the stage 2 minutes ahead. We finish 4th, which is a solid result, but I wish I took some more time on Healy, solid time on G, and definitely Wout van Aert, who's gone basically. Which means the new leader of the Dauphine is Ben Healy by 47 seconds on Rodriguez and 54 seconds on Lipovic. So yeah, Healy and Rodriguez, those are my 2 people to beat here. On to stage 8 and the final mountain stage of this Dauphine. Not a multi-massive mountain stage, but a medium mountain stage. We've got the Col du Granier, followed by the Col du Coucheron and the Col de Port before a descent towards a punchy finish, is how I describe it. Jonas Vingegaard is the favorite, Lipovic second favorite, and Carlos Rodriguez is the third favorite, so that's one of our 2 men to beat. But 54 seconds on Ben Healy, it's gonna be a close one on this. Anyway, I'll throw my everything at it, let's see how it goes. So, -2 on Alvarez, irrelevant. Lipovic, oh la 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 la, despite sickness, a +2 on the day, so 82 mountain stat. We are going to cook Healy today. On the last 3 climbs of the day, the first of the 3 at the moment, the Col du Granier, actually quite steep right now, so I'm trying to keep my riders in the group most of all, trying to spend as little energy as possible, but on the next 2 climbs, I gotta put some pressure because we gotta drop this man. We gotta drop Ben Healy. Not exactly the best scenario on the descent of the first climb. Our team is behind, Lipovic is not, so that's a positive. Looks like they've made it back. Lipovic can now sit at the back of our train. There we go. Teutenberg can bring ourselves to the front then. We're gonna try and get to the front and put some pressure on Healy, but it's gonna have to happen on the final climb because we're not even getting to the front of this group at the moment. We've got David Guru attacking. At least someone's putting some pressure. We've got Ineos trying to put pressure as well, but Healy's looking fantastic right now in a top 5 position. Hopefully he's spending a lot of energy. We've got Seychelles now protecting Lipovic. Come on, we gotta get over this climb and then get into position because our position is our problem right now. Okay then, on the last climb, 7.8 kilometers. We've got Thibaut Nys now pacing for Groupama FDG. Come on, we gotta try and find a way to blow up this group. Looks like Groupama is trying to do that as a team, so let's hope that puts pressure already. Only 5k to the top, so I might just go 85 to the top with Lipovic and hope that works. Healy's now behind us. It's not because of tiredness, I fear. It is not because of tiredness, I fear, but they are overextending a little bit right now. Lipovic on the right side of the road. Sesha, come on. Skjelmose, don't block us, buddy. Pidcock is pacing at the moment for Rodriguez, 4 kilometers towards the top. I don't think this is gonna work. I do not think this is going to work. Is there a way I can get to the front enough to make an attack here? That is the question. Paul Seychelles is done for Pidcock. Please say you're almost done, buddy. We need Pidcock to basically be done to be able to do an attack here. So 2 kilometers to the top. I have to make a move. I have to make a move right now. Lipovic on the right side of the road. He tries to make his move. We're going to try and go towards the top on 99. We've got Vingegaard in the wheel. Rodriguez. Healy as well. Healy's right in our wheel. Ben Healy is right in our wheel and is not showing signs of cracking. Not showing a single sign of cracking on this stage. It's not gonna work. One obstacle left in the race, the Bastille climb at the end of the stage, which is very steep but short. Pidcock has a gap. That is interesting. Vingegaard is closing. I don't want to be the one closing that. Healy, it's on you to close it. I want Healy to spend his energy right now, and that's exactly what he's doing. I'm trying to recover as much yellow as possible here. Okay, last 3 kilometers. We're in 6th position right now. The climb is about to start, only 2 kilometers. It's only 1.8 kilometers, so we're going to try and do 88, 91, 92, 93. Ben Healy is on fire. We're not taking time today. We are losing the Dauphiné, and Ben Healy might win the stage like this. He might literally win the stage. I'm going to try and move up right now, but we are in a horrible position. This is so incredibly steep. Healy's done for at the top, but so is everybody else, and so are we. So we're not winning the stage. We're not winning the Dauphiné, and Ben Healy finishes it off on the final stage of the Dauphiné with a stage win ahead of Jonas Vingegaard. So we can't say anything else then. Congratulations, Healy. He deserves the win. Famous Hollywood actor Hugh Jackman finishes last in the stage. That's such a bad joke. That is such a bad joke. There it is then, the final classification of the Criterium de Dauphiné. We lose the race, we finish third, which podium at this race is pretty good, but against Healy and Rodriguez, I would have liked to win this, you know? But looking at the positive side, we do win the points classification with Hector Alvarez, so that is quite nice. So, Dauphiné is done for, but very quickly, I do want to look at transfer dossiers again. 9 dossier points is what we have available, and I want to spend 5 of those on Jaimar Echebarria. Super active in that Dauphiné, but also quite talented. 5-star potential and especially versatile. 75 mountain, 77 medium mountain, 79 hill stat, 73 cobble, 75 sprint. The man can literally do everything except time trial. This guy is an anti-Vatsek. So yeah, Jaimar buddy, you are going to be added to our list. There we go. For now, I'll keep the rest of my dossier points. Anyway, next to the Dauphiné, also the Tour de Suisse was on the menu, but I decided to skip it because I just didn't feel like riding it. And as we can see on the right, Tadej Pogacar won that race, so he's definitely in good form for the Tour de France. Sadly, that is. But today's video is not over yet because we are gonna do some more races. The national championships from Great Britain to Slovenia to Spain to Germany, so plenty of them on the menu. But I do plan on quick simming the races where we don't have a chance. For example, Great British ITT, Kieran Thompson, can't time trial for shit. So let's quick sim this one. Not a surprise, Joshua Tarling is the new TT champion. Actually, in the Netherlands, we do have a chance with Tibor Del Grosso, 72 time trial against Mathieu van der Poel, 75. So definitely we're not the favorite, but a top 10, top 5 maybe is possible. So let's hope for some good form. Tibor is on the road and his form is so damn good today, 76 time trial. So I feel like we do have a chance here. I'm going on 86. Is that a good idea? It probably is actually. So I'll keep doing that. Not a single time check in this time trial, so I'm guessing we're going straight to the finish line. Last kilometer right here, we spent all our yellow, now we just spent all our energy a bit too early in the last kilometer, so that's a bummer. We finish first still, 10 seconds ahead of Schelling, but I don't think it's gonna be a win because we could have played that a lot better. In the end, Mathieu van der Poel wins, but we finish third, so a podium place is pretty good. I do think we could have at least gotten second here, if I simply played it better. Because let's be honest, running out of red energy in a time trial is inexcusable. Now, the Czech ITT should be quite interesting. We are the all-out favorite, but there's one problem. Just 2 weeks ago, Vatsek was extremely tired, so his fitness is not exactly perfect yet. But like, we should still be able to win this, I reckon. Once again, no intermediate time checks. Vatsek is on the road, and I'm trying to spend my red bar on the uphills, and I'm trying to reduce my effort on the downhills. That's kind of my strategy, but it's one of those time trials where it's too short to spend your entire yellow bar, so it's all about the red bar here. And while Vatsek is not exactly in top form today, he's still gonna destroy people here, I reckon. Yes, we beat Cherny, and we win the time trial, so first in in the pocket. That being said, it would have been a crime if we lost this one. Leon Kolar can't time trial, so we're gonna quick sim the Slovenian one. Wow, what a surprise! Tadej Pogacar wins the Slovenian time trial. Said no one ever. When it comes to France, Paul Seychelles 70 time trial, not exactly enough to make me ride this, I think, so quick sim 2. Pavel Sivakov is the winner. Okay, it's time for Spain. 46.5 kilometers, and you would say Alvarez, meh, time trial is 72, not crazy. Perical 65, but you have not thought about our man Marcos Landa, 78 time trial. So my man's the favorite for this, so let's try and win it. Passing Barrichello, our first minute man, dropped it down to 70 to spare some energy before the next climb, which is about to start, and I'll up it to maybe 85, probably more on this climb because I want to spend my red bar 85 towards the top though, because we don't want to run out of red bar again, because that is a no-go in a time trial. First time check, we are undoubtedly first, 30 seconds on the flat now, back up to 70, and I want to keep this going for a bit. Under the second time check at effort 75, we are second now on 10 seconds, so that is not too likable. Let's spend some more energy on the next climb again as planned. Once again up to 90 on this uphill segment, not too long. In the descent, drop it down again to 70 and 75 actually, now back to 90 on this climb. Hola, Marcos Landa starting, so we gotta focus on him as well right now. Let's do 75 first of all. Alvarez into the last 2 kilometers. This is difficult doing 2 riders at the same time. Downhill Landa, so let's do 65, maybe 60? I'll do 60 for now, maybe? I'm not sure if that's a good idea. 99 for Alvarez into the last stretch. Can he spend his red bar? Almost, but we are first right now with Alvarez, so that is good. Let's up it again with Landa towards 72 for now. Gotta say, controlling 2 riders at the same time, that is bloody well stressful. Onto the climb, and just like with Alvarez, we're gonna up it towards 90 on the climb to spend that red bar. We are doing very well right now. Belocchi is behind us and is the co-favorite, but we've got 80 time trial on the day, so we're looking pretty good at the moment. First time check incoming. Let's drop it down to 85 over the line, and we are first by 28 seconds, but Belocchi still has a long way to go. Meanwhile, I dropped it down with Landa to 65 to once again replenish energy. Belocchi is about to take on the first time check. Is he gonna get any close? Not exactly. He's on a minute at the moment. Let's get to Landa. He's almost on the flat segment, so I need to up it to 70, 75 maybe? Let's do 75 for now. Hilly time trials like this are a lot more difficult than flat ones, but I actually really enjoy doing so because it's a complex challenge. Landa is about to pass his Minuteman under the second time check, and what time do we get? 1:35 on Carlos Canal, so perfect time so far. Meanwhile, I've got a feeling Markel Belocchi is in Narnia, and that is not the case. 110 down, so he's still somewhat in the running, but Landa is definitely the favorite for now. Going on 90 on the climb once again with Landa, maybe 93, because I need to spend that red bar, spending loads of yellow as well over the top, down to 65 in the descent. Looks like it's one of those descents where we still need to ride a little bit, so let's put it up to 72 for now, maybe 70. I don't want to spend all my yellow left. Into the final 2.5 kilometers, Landa is running out of yellow bar as we speak in the last 1.7k, so now we have to time it perfectly with the red bar. We're spending a little bit too much maybe. We're gonna win this time trial though. I've got full confidence. 85 to the line right now. That seems to be perfect. 99, there comes the time. 218 on Alvarez, so on my own teammate. Romeo in Narnia, and Belocchi is so far away. Still 1.9k to go, so it's over. Marcos Landa wins by a massive 1 minute 27 on Belocchi, so domination by Marcos Landa. Pretty crazy event actually. An alternate reality where a rider called Landa is actually doing a good time trial. That's basically unheard of. Ooh, we might be in trouble for the German one. Schachmann is the favorite by 2 time trial stats higher than most of our team, so it's not that likely we'll win this one. But Yannick Stammler does have a fitness peak, so maybe with a +3 on time trial we might make it. I wish we had a bit more time before Stammler started though, because that's our man with a +3 on the day, so 79 time trial, that could win this time trial, but I'll have to do it perfectly first time now. Steinhauser is finishing right now at the finish line, and my man does pretty well. He's first, and again, he's the only rider that finished so far. Entering the last 2.5 kilometers with Stammler, I'm hoping this one will be good. Plenty of red bar left, so we gotta time it for the finish line. There we go, all the way to the line on 85.99. We beat Steinhauser by 146. I reckon we win this one. But it all depends on how well Schachmann does. I am a little bit scared. Schachmann comes over the line right now and is third on 26 seconds, so I reckon we've got it in the bag. Lipovitz in the final kilometer, spending all his red bar before the line right now, and he does not beat Stammler, 17 seconds behind. Schachmann comes in and does not beat Stammler either, 38 seconds behind, so Yannick Stammler is the new German national champion, ITT. And this page does show how far we've come as REMBE Pro Cycling and how much of a German identity our team has. We've got 7 riders in the top 10 here. That being said, I would have liked to win with Lipovitz because a German NC at the Tour de France, that would have been cool. Nonetheless, I should not complain about winning. Anyway, the time trials are behind us. We won 3 of them, so I am quite happy. Wozzeck, Stammler and Landa, but now the road races arrive. Starting off with Wozzeck in the Czech Republic, and Wozzeck is actually the favorite despite not having a sprint, so I'm not sure how I'll drop Matthias Kopecki. I'm going to quickly pause the game because I want to take a look at the start list, because these smaller championships often depend on the teams that are in the breakaway. So for example, we've got only a single team that has lots of riders in it. Tofu, Tufo. Tofu is a different thing, Benji. Are there one of those riders trying to get in the breakaway? Not, is that him? No, that's Bittner. Is that Pavel Bittner? No, that's Jay Bittner. There's so many Bittners in the world. This is so confusing. And that team is actually going in the breakaway. So I'm going to try and go in the breakaway. What is the response going to be like? That is the question. Are we going to see people chasing behind? No. People are not chasing. And that's all because the one team that has the riders to really pace is in the breakaway. Bradac for Tofu, Tufo. Okay, scrap that. The team that is in the breakaway, the Tofu team, the Tufo team, is also pacing in the peloton and closing us down. This makes no sense. So I guess we're gonna try and win this race from the peloton without a single teammate. Now more people try to attack. How are we supposed to control this race without teammates? Well, I'm afraid the answer is we're not going to control this race. 13 minutes and a half for the breakaway. We are losing this race and there's nothing I can do about it. I nearly missed the finish, but Safranek is the one that wins the race here. Congratulations, random Czech man. And Matthias Wacek, after trying literally everything, is finishing second last in the race. I think it's fair to say this race was not what I was hoping for. A crazy puncher parkour in Slovenia with Leon Kolar, a flat sprinter against the man himself, Tadej Pogačar. So there's no way in hell I'm riding this. Wow, what a shocker. Tadej Pogačar wins. Same for the UK. Kieran Thompson does not have any flat skills. It's a flat parkour and Matthew Brennan is the favorite, so let's quicks him. And once again, the favorite wins, Matthew Brennan. Oh no, the Sachsen ring for the German National Championship. So a pretty punchy parkour. Henry Ulich is the favorite, so we gotta try and find a way to beat him. If only we had a German Alvarez. So what's happening with our team? Behrens with a +3 on the race, so that's excellent. Could be co-leader for this race. Teutenberg -2, don't like it. Herzog -3, don't like it either. Whereas Lures, he's got a 0 day, so I guess he's still co-favorite. But looking at this parkour, it kind of looks like a flat stage. Like a very up and down flat stage. To be honest, look at this. This parkour is absolutely dreadful. There's so many corners in this parkour that your riders just can't pace for half the circuit. For example, here, Brenner will not be able to go all out until he's through the corner. Now, this corner. Now, this next corner. These are all corners where he literally can't spend a single ounce of energy. And now he can through this corner. So, my goodness, this is awful. So I'm trying to make sure I catch the breakaway before the last like 30 kilometers, so there's no surprises, so I can focus on my own team. I'll try to go for Teutenberg, but I don't really care who wins. The only rider I don't want to win is Niklas Behrens, because he's leaving the team, and I want to keep the jersey in the team next year. Last 5 kilometers in the curly bends that I don't like. Behrens about to take over for the lead out right now in this corner. He won't be able to spend most of it red bar anyway. We've got more attacks by Schachmann, Wilkes, and so forth. Johnny Rotman is here. Our old legend from the team. He's right there. That's pretty cool to see. Energy gel on most of our team right now. Stadler can start the lead out sprint right now. This corner is everywhere anyway. So Teutenberg can launch a sprint early. Lurs can do so. Steinhauser, Lipovic. Everybody can sprint into the curly bit. And then Stadler versus Teutenberg. Stadler versus Teutenberg. It's going to be Teutenberg winning. Yes, indeed. A 1-2 for REMBE Pro Cycling. We win the German championships, but that parkour was absolutely awful. I never want to play that again. Like, we just had to win that. Our team is super strong in Germany right now because we've got so many German top riders, and the way that parkour was built made it a little bit easier for us. 1, 2, 4, 6, 9, 11, and 15. That's our team. Absolute dominance by REMBE in Germany. And in Spain, Alex Aramburu is the favorite, but we all know that the winner is going to be Hector Alvarez, because look at the parkour. It's a Hector Alvarez stage. Also starting off with a magical +2 on Alvarez, so that is brilliant. That's 75 hill stat, 77 sprint, so we might as well already write the winner down. I'm being so overconfident. Imagine if I don't win this. 18 kilometers to go in the race. The team is looking perfect for the final climb. The brake has been caught. 69 people in the peloton. Very nice. We are looking fantastic. Some riders are trying to attack Barcello on the right side of the road with a train of people behind them, but we are controlling with Perikas Landa with 77 hill stat as well, so actually a pretty damn solid rider. Over the top with Perikas, we've got a group of 3 riders over the top. That is Perikas leading our team over the top without any people in our wheel, so I'm not complaining about that. Let's keep it going in the descent. The peloton is trying to come back on the flat part towards the finish line. It's not actually that flat. It goes downhill pretty soon again. Landa's about to launch with Alvarez in the wheel on this last climb. Why not? We've got people trying to bridge towards us, including Mr. Aramburu. So let's set up a proper sprint train now. We do not have energy on Landa. I don't like that. Let's launch his sprint right now. Alvarez in the wheel can launch now with about a kilometer to go. Easily beating the others. Berasategui is coming second, but Hector Alvarez, once again, 2 years in a row, is Spanish champion. We keep on cooking. The game had Alex Aramburu as the favorite, but it was wrong because Hector Alvarez is simply better. What a crazy season for this guy, by the way. Kuurne, Brussels, Kuurne, Classic Brugge de Ponne, Gent-Wevelgem, Strade Bianche, Spanish NCs, 3 stages at the Dauphine, plus the green jersey. Almost ran out of breath there. Next up, Nationaal Kampioenschap van Nederland. We've got Mathieu van der Poel as the favorite. Tibor Del Grosso is not, but he's got a fitness peak, so he's got a chance. Oh my goodness. +3 on Tibor Del Grosso. 74 sprint, 77 hill. Mathieu van der Poel, we're coming for you. Oh, 25 kilometers to go on a tag that includes Mathieu van der Poel, but other teams are taking care of it. We've only got one rider, so I'm kind of hoping that the peloton cannibalizes each other's attacks so that we don't have to do anything. That's my hope. Entering the last 9 kilometers, lots of attacks, but the peloton just keeps on controlling itself, so it's all going pretty well for me. I would like to follow the wheel of Van der Poel, but not necessarily in this attack, although I don't want this attack to go. I just want to enter his wheel for the final sprint. Ooh, this might be the move. This might be the move, and I've missed it. Heiting is closing it down. He's attacking towards it. Can I follow that wheel? Because I'm not at the front of the race right now, so I think we might be out of it. I think we might have missed it. No, we didn't, because we're coming back. I'm going to try and get in the wheel of someone now, and that is most likely going to be Mathieu van der Poel. I can't get in the wheel of anyone, so that's not great either. Last 3 kilometers. There goes the attack. Del Grosso off the front. That was dumb. That was so dumb. That was so incredibly dumb. We've lost our sprint energy now. Van der Poel is done for. No? I think Van der Poel is done for. Let's do 90 right now into the last 1 kilometer. Van der Poel in our wheel. Marijn van den Berg is launching right now. Del Grosso will launch right now in the last few meters. Tibor Del Grosso is going to win the Dutch National Championships. Marijn van den Berg gets third because Mathieu van der Poel finishes second, but buddy, you're f***ing washed. There's only one Dutch king in town, and his name is Tibor Del Grosso. Honestly, I did not expect to win this one. Mathieu van der Poel was the heavy favorite, but he was running out of energy because of all the attacks that failed because other teams were controlling him. And in the end, it is baby Van der Poel himself, Tibor Del Grosso, that benefits from it. Now, sadly, the French National Championships is basically flat, and Paul Sechat is a climber, so I'll have to quick sim this one. Okay, I didn't expect Paul Lapera to win this, upon sure. And that was our last National Championships. It is still pretty crazy how this episode started. A triple stage win by Hector Alvarez at the Dauphine. That's fantastic. And while that was happening, Appelbaum also rode the Tour of Slovenia, which I simulated, and he won a stage, shockingly. We also won 3 national championships ITT, Landa, Stamle and Vatsik, and Teutenberg, Del Grosso and Alvarez won a road race. A solid 10 victories all today. And we've made a massive jump in the World Tour ranking from 16,000 to 23,000 points, so I reckon we're unbeatable in that. And well, in terms of victories, we're basically halfway the season. 58 victories for REMBE Pro Cycling. That being said, the most winning rider is not Vatsik, it's Wout Jore. I've got no clue who that is. Bro, this dude's been farming Cameroon, Benin, Mali, Maurice, and some other race in Maurice. No wonder he's winning. Meanwhile, Matthias Vatsik actually won proper races. And actually, talking about proper races, the next episode of the series is the one that this entire series was building towards. The mythical start of the Tour de France 2028, our first Tour de France with REMBE Pro Cycling. And ever since this series started, ever since REMBE Pro Cycling was created in real life, that team had a single goal, getting a German rider in the yellow jersey, and my second goal is winning the Tour de France. So yeah, next time we'll find out if our humble team of REMBE Pro Cycling, which we've grown from a UCI Continental team to a World Tour team, can win the Tour de France of 2028. Potentially the final episodes of this entire series. But for now, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.